This is Britwatch Sports Tournament in a Tea Break. I'm Ros Sattar and welcome to our Olympic edition. Let's start with Novak Djokovic. He lost in the first round to Juan Martín del Potro. It's the second time he's lost to the Tower of Tandil, losing in the bronze medal match in London. He left the court absolutely devastated. Things didn't get any better when he and Nenad Zimonjić went out in the men's doubles as well. Of course, this year he's achieved a career slam. He now holds all 4 major titles at the moment, but he was stunned at Wimbledon in the third round by Sam Querrey. He has just announced that he's pulling out of Cincinnati. It's the one Masters he doesn't have, but citing a wrist injury. Needs some time to recuperate. Hopefully he'll come back to the US Open feeling a bit better, but gotta say he doesn't really look like he's back to his dominant form. He could struggle. Next up, of course, is Serena Williams. She lost late last night to Elina Svitolina in straight sets. Earlier in the tournament, she lost in the doubles in the opening round to the Czech pairing of Strycova and Safarova. Of course, her and sister Venus were defending champions. She seemed to be struggling with a shoulder injury. She pulled out of Montreal in the warm-up to Rio with shoulder inflammation. This will put her very much undercooked as she goes into the US Open. She has, of course, hit the magical 22 Grand Slam. And now that she's got over that hump, will she come back to the US Open rejuvenated? Not sure. I wouldn't put her as a favourite now going into New York. What of GARBINE MUGURUZA? She looked invincible in the first 2 rounds, but she went out very lamely to Monica Puig for the loss of just 2 games. She does, however, have the ultimate consolation prize. She gets to play mixed doubles with Rafael Nadal. She's also in the doubles with Carla Suarez Navarro in the women's doubles, so hopefully she's going to be sticking around for a little bit longer. Her grass court season was a disaster. Her US court season last year wasn't great. She finished strong in Asia, so let's see what she's got in the tank to close out 2016. Oh dear, dear, dear. What can we say about AGNIESZKA RADWANSKA? It's the second time in a row that she's been bounced out in the opening round, this time to Zheng Seisei. She made it through a couple of rounds in her debut in Beijing, but really the Olympics has not been happy for her. But again, she's got some a purpose to stay around. It took her 55 hours to get here, so it's about time she sticks around. She'll be joining forces with Łukasz Kubot for the mixed doubles. She, of course, has some mixed pedigree, having won the Hopman Cup with Jerzy Janowicz in 2015. So where does that leave the rest of the big guns? Andy Murray is the defending champion. He would be the first person to defend an Olympic tennis title if he pulls it off in Rio. He will be up against Rafael Nadal, the 2008 Beijing champion. Nadal is making his comeback. He withdrew, of course, in Roland Garros and hasn't been on a court since. He's been going well, but let's see what happens when he gets to the business end. And finally, to wrap things up, we've got Angelique Kerber. She will be up against Britain's very own Joanna Konta, bidding for a place in the semi-finals. That's where they met in Australia, and Kerber got the upper hand there. Kerber has gone on to win her maiden slam in Melbourne before making a run to the Wimbledon final. She has got to fancy her chances of being the first German since Steffi Graf to strike gold. This has been Tournament in a Tea Break, a Britwatch Sports production, and I'm Ros Sattar. Thank you for listening.